2. Welcome back. WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST. First place Ravens this week. Luke Jones will be out in Owings Mills all week long. And this guy here on camera, man, see, all I got to do, this is the first time Dennis and I have ever done any live segment with the Raven. He's been a sponsor for going on 2 decades and a friend of mine. But his dealership's down the road. Of course, he'll be here on Thursday from 3 until 5. And, you know, a rare treat to share a Jennings burger with you and Kate.
I know. Can you believe it?
Absolutely, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Love Jennings Cafe.
Woo!
Let's go. Let's
All
go.
right. What do you got for Matt? Because this... You know, you do radio here. I'm doing Dennis's show every week. He's on Sunday mornings. No one loves football more than Dennis or is more engaged.
Well, I have a question for my son. Actually, not a question, but he said, please give Mr. Skura mad props from me for blocking Adam Butler 10 yards down the field against a Patriots.
I tweeted about that. I'm going to look that
up.
up.
It was Liddy, and he even, you know, there's Matt taking the Patriots defender 10 yards down the field.
See, I'm going to have to find that tweet because I tweeted in the middle of that, and I said, Matt Skura down the field blowing guys up or something like that.
Yes.
Dude, was that an all-timer for personal highlights? Because you look really, really excited with yourself at the end of that play. You could not contain your own enthusiasm. I was enthusiastic for you because it happened right in front of me up in my section.
Yeah, that's definitely probably got to be top 1 or 2 moments as far as open field blocks for sure because, you know, usually you get those blocks on linebackers, defensive backs, guys who are just kind of smaller and you can kind of catch them on their heels, but when you do it to a defensive lineman, I don't know, it just gives you that much more boost and energy. And, especially when, you know, it created such a big play, too. I think that's really what made it, too, and against the Patriots.
Now, you guys also love those arc blocks, right, when you just come around and just, bam, just blindside them, don't you?
Yeah. And, you know, it's all about creating new angles and cutting off defenses the right way. So, yeah, it's definitely fun.
I was trying to find, like, the actual tweet from that night because I wrote something that was just kind of fun, and it's fun to share it with you. And I think for all of us to share whatever these moments are because you're sort of new to the party. It's fun to have you out, and I've written books about these things. We sat in the upper deck. We sat in the lower deck. We've marched through Tampa. We've marched through New Orleans. God willing, we'll be marching through Miami Beach. I know my way around there in about 10 weeks. But there's still an enthusiasm for all of this, for all of us, literally for all of you, that this is Lamar's first time at the rodeo and your first time beating the snot out of the Patriots. You know, we've lived through Cundiff misses and going up there and winning. The enthusiasm we feel, honestly, as I get a little older, and Dennis is a little more silver than me, he's a little more wise than me, but there is something, I think, for the whole town that it does feel like the first time, right? A little bit.
It does. You know, we have that collegiate type of a fervor for the Ravens. We love the Ravens. We were without football for 13 years. You and I were Baltimore Colts season ticket holders, so it means a lot to us to have a team and watch these young men just give it their all. And I wanted to ask Matt about the Patriots game. Now, the Bengals game, of course, they were 0-8, but how fun was it to play in that Patriots game? You look over there, you got Belichick and Brady on the sideline. Tell me, for you, what did it mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of hear all the stories and the background stories about, you know, Ravens versus the Patriots and how much of a meaningful game that's always been and how kind of it's always been on the biggest stage and in the most meaningful times. So you kind of, throughout the week, are like, all right, just kind of like preparing yourself emotionally for that game. And, you just kind of – from my own perspective, I just knew that I was going to have to finish plays that much stronger and had to be on my assignments, my techniques that much more. And so, to be part of a win like that was amazing because, I know the Ravens have been through some heartache losses to the Patriots as well. So, it was just pretty crazy to be across the field and sharing the same field with some of those great players and coaches. And, it was a lot of fun.
You ever been a part of a team with these kinds of down and distances? Maybe in a good high school team, you find yourself in 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 3 a lot. But I've told this story from last week, and I'm going to blame Jeff Moeller because I'm over in Catonsville, because it was him. He sits behind me, Don sits behind me, and there was a run off the right side. You were coming on your sideline. It was on the other end of the field. We got 5 yards on first down. And Mark maybe ran the ball and maybe could have cut it back and got 7 or 8. We got 5 yards. We're in 2nd and 5. And everybody's bitching behind me. And I'm like, 2nd and 5 used to be a really good down and distance, right? But you guys are so frequently in these really kind down and distances where you go up, you spot the ball, you look, and we only got to get from here to there on 2nd down. And we're a 4-down team, to John's words, anywhere this side of the other 35-yard line, right? So we don't even think about it in terms of that. We think about it in terms of 4 plays in 30 feet, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you get a lot of defenses out of their normal blitz packages and things that, they want to get into as far as rushing the passer and, and it wears down a defense too because, they're more used to, 2nd and 7 or 2nd and or getting like the long 3rd down. So they want to
take away their hope.
Right, exactly. You get them out of their comfort zone and, do they really want to be defending the run, 40, 50 times a game? Probably not. And so you kind of get them out of their element a little bit.
It's not just the run.
So, yeah.
I mean, we had Jamal punish people with that kind of run around here. I had him on the show last week. He loves you. He loves watching you guys. I see him on the field in Miami. I mean, our legend guys come back. They love when you run the football. But having gazelles, I mean, literally having guys that first step, if you move the wrong way, take the wrong angle. We talked algebra. That's geometry, right? Like Lamar makes them pay every time, not most of the time, every time they pay by having to get back up, dust off, and have 10 fresh yards.
Yeah, for sure. And, that's kind of what we like to do as an offense is, we want to hit those chunk plays because just like the Bengals game, first play of the game, we hit that huge play and it kind of just set the tone for the rest of the game. And getting those huge chunk yards really helps us out too because – we want to score fast, and even though we do like to take our time sometimes, with those long 10, 12, 14-play drives, getting to score fast is just as fun too.
Well, I mean, there must be something like you script all this, right? So you sit out there in Greg's laboratory, and all right, first play, all right, we're going to go deep down the middle, just like we did in the Miami game. Then it works. And you're like, my God, it's 1:02 in the afternoon. We just kicked the ball off. Nobody's even in their seats. And there must be something really just in that moment like, oh, yeah, first play, that's – because you do practice that all week, right?
Right. And, just getting that first play like that, I mean, it just takes a little bit of weight off your chest too because, you don't really – because it could go just as bad the other way. So
you took the crowd out of – oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The crowd was already out. That's just my –
Never showed up.
Then I did find my tweet for you, and I used a word I never use. It's a little bit of a Richie Cunningham word. Now, that passes him while I'm wearing my Michael Jackson. And I said, and look at Matt Skura get up a load of steam. Yowza. Yowza. I gave you a yowza. So that's good. Yowza's as good a block as you can get.
Excellent.
I don't have anything. I mean, it's the internet, and I try not to curse too much on the internet. Dan, have at it, man. Let's talk Lamar. I know you want to get into this.
Well, we've talked a lot about Lamar. Mark Ingram seems to be like a really, really great guy. What has he meant to the team, to the locker room, and to the running backs room as well?
Yeah, he's a great guy, great friend, great teammate. He brings a ton of energy to the locker room. A guy that's always like joking around, keeping things light in practice. Always,
dances.
Yeah.
He dances for Lamar. You see that? He did a little jig.
MVP chance,
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think he really does give a veteran presence to a pretty young running back room. And so he's able to, tell guys where he's looking on a certain play and, why he may press something in a run game or why he would cut back into a different gap. And so, I think just all those things, guys really gravitate towards him. And, he's been a huge addition to our offense and our team and definitely has that physical presence as well during the game that you like.
We changed our offense Super Bowl year late in December. John fired camp. We're not against midseason changes, and there's such stability in this organization. But with the injuries, seeing what happened to Tony Jefferson and Tavon, all these, the thought of dealing for a Marcus Peters in week 2 or week 3. When we got together beginning of the year, Josh Bynes wasn't here. L.J. Fort wasn't here with a contract. It really is. it speaks to the strength of the organization that they can fortify when things look a little dark, when things look a little bleak, when we wake up one morning and Terrell Suggs is gone and Mosley's gone and whatever. Later that day, here comes Earl Thomas, and and in week 9, week 10, we want him on our wall, right? And for all those guys on the defense, you talk about continuity, and you guys have been blessed with good health, mostly the same guys on your side. Can you imagine you get dealt off to the Jaguars tomorrow and have to go play next week the way LJ did, the way all these guys just sort of – Marcus Peters, you didn't even know the guys' names that he's out on the field with, literally, and he's out there making game-changing plays. It's been that sort of a carpet ride, but really is a tribute to the front office doing what you guys need to be done to win, to give you what you need.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't imagine being in those situations where, show up to a new city, a new facility, new teammates, new everything, and then expected to perform and at the highest level and know everything. And so it's definitely tough. And, I think also speaks to our locker room, just embracing those guys, welcoming them in with open arms and kind of taking them in under our wing. I know a lot of them are veteran guys, but just kind of, helping them out on the practice field as far as getting them integrated with the playbook and just kind of, I guess, better word, indoctrinating them into the Raven way. And so, it's I know it's definitely tough on those guys and their families, but it's been awesome seeing the way they've stepped up and handled themselves.
Good to be dealt into a place where you're winning too. I mean, there's energy everywhere. Matt Skura's here, Dennis Koulatsos here. Dan, have at it, man.
Quick question about Coach Harbaugh. You've been with the team since 2016. How has Harbaugh's been the last 3 years? Is he the same? Do you know what you're getting with him? He seemed a lot more relaxed, like he's having a lot more fun with the guys, more engaged, more involved with the players.
Well, that moment with Lamar was incredible, right? That we've all seen online.
Priceless.
Yeah,
you see that every day, though, right?
Right. Yeah. And, really, I don't know. I feel like he's been pretty consistent in who he is, and like I said before, winning, kind of alleviates some pressure, and also too just kind of puts everyone in a good mood. And you kind of just feel the energy as soon as you walk into the building. So I think that's kind of been contagious for everyone, from front office all the way down to the players and everyone in the facility. So. He's been great to us. He's been great to me, and someone that's been an awesome leader for our team.
And you talked about, just the positivity and the confidence of the team. In the Patriots game, when Cyrus Jones dropped the ball and also Mark Ingram put the ball on the ground, you guys didn't panic. You guys put together some long drives on the offensive side of the ball once you got the ball back to start that game away.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to a lot of the experience that these guys have, and, we're accountable too. I think Mark put that on himself, even though we're like, hey man, next drive, next play, we'll be fine. And so I think we have a lot of accountability, a lot of mature guys, and we're able to put those things behind us, because we know you just can't let that last play, or even if it was good or bad, you just can't let it affect the next one or the next drive. So I think, Marshall helps us out a lot with that. He's like, hey guys, like, these things happen, but we just got to go out there and do the same thing again. We got to run the ball, and we got to protect the quarterback. So, and then that's not going to change. This is the NFL. So he definitely keeps us level-headed, and I think that just really speaks to, the leadership of the entire offense and of the entire team as well, because we just kind of rally around one another.
And Marshall's having a lot of fun. I mean, to see him take Eric DaCosta and make him like a salt and shake.
By the way, I got inside information on this.
Tell me about that.
I got inside that DaCosta did not mind being pile drived. He was a little upset that Marshall was a little dirty and smelly and stuff. But other than that,
he's having fun.
He's having a good time.
Lot of fun. On the Hall of Fame career, right?
Yeah.
Should be a Hall of Famer, Marshall Young.
I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we think so too, and we let them know.
Well, you talk about ball security, and that's sort of like, I don't put the whammy on anything, but that has been the magic of this to me, because Lamar could be having all the success, he could be an accurate passer, you guys could be doing great things, but if you cough the ball up twice a game down on the 20, and you find yourself on the wrong end of one of the close games because of that, or you find yourself in a game in Cincinnati Sunday because you made mistakes, that's been really the saving grace for you guys at this point, 10 weeks into this, is that that's been, aside from all the other good things, you haven't shot yourself in the foot. The penalties, turning the ball over, that's been, I think, over the last 5 or 6 weeks, something that's allowed you to have the kind of success that we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. I think disciplined football is definitely one of the key things of our offense because we want to be a team that takes the ball and, extend our drives for a long period of time. So we need to make sure that, we have the ball after every single play and that, it starts with a good snap and it starts with a good read and then it finishes with the running back or Lamar or the wide receiver, tight end, all having great technique with how they carry the ball. So that's a huge emphasis that we put on every week. We actually watch tape from around the league about, seeing how guys fumbled, why they fumble, what caused it, and how we can really prevent it. So, I think it's something that the whole offense is really bought into. And, playing disciplined football is what you need to have.
Well coached, right? Like, we would say that about a Harbaugh team, and in various years, but well coached, well schemed, and more than that, well executed. You know what I mean? Like, the execution, 7-2 speaks for itself. The film on Tuesdays, the film after the Cleveland game spoke for itself too, right? I mean, and you guys can't run from that or hide from that, right? So, hey, man, keep up the great work, Den. Good seeing you, brother.
Ravens are number 1 offense in the NFL. How about those Ravens?
Yes! Jennings Cafe. Doesn't take much over here in Catonsville, man.
Let's
I'll tell
go.
you what, man. Give me a Jennings burger and a quesadilla. We're back for a final segment. Luke's going to join us. We're in Catonsville. Matt Skura is with us.
Thank you,
WNST.net,
appreciate it.
AM 1570, WNST Towson, Baltimore.